If you've browsed local for sale sites lately, you may have come across an ad for a massive train layout in Scott City. The brief description, even with 10 photos attached, doesn't come close to telling the touching story of the train set and the man who spent decades creating it. Carly O'Keefe has this story of love and locomotives.
Life is a journey, and for Bob Baldwin, that journey always followed rails.
Loved trains since he was 8 years old. Down in Essex, Missouri, he'd sit on a house and watch the trains go by.
That led to a hobby that eventually took over his entire basement.
And I kept giving him more and more basement, and he kept adding on. And then the first thing I know, I said, oh, you can just have the basement.
While locomotives may have been Bob's first love, they had nothing on the love of his life. Cindy Baldwin says it hit them both like, well, a freight train.
After that first kiss, it was it. We knew. That's all it took.
The Baldwins married in 1972.
This June 3rd, it'd be 51 years that we worked together.
Throughout their 5 decades together, Cindy says trains featured prominently in just about everything they did.
We'd stop every time there's a train going through when the kids was little, and they get so excited. And we go to train conventions, we'd take them, and train shows, and every time we traveled anywhere, wherever there was a train, anything go on, a ride, museum, collectibles, we stopped. We did it all over the United States.
At every stop on their decades-long cross-country journey, Bob picked up ideas.
He just kept getting ideas everywhere he went.
He also picked up pieces, some which hold memories Bob and Cindy made over a lifetime.
It's Route 66, so we actually went out that way. You see, we have Mount Rushmore. We went out there 3 years ago. Wherever one went, the other went. You always saw us together. You never saw us separate. We didn't drink, we didn't run around. We just raised our family and worked, and he collected this here, and that was our life pretty much.
Bob's ultimate goal was to build the model train set of his dreams.
He had it planned out. He knew what he wanted in his head. He knew what, he made a little list every time he went to one, what he was going to buy this time he shopped. And he got all his stuff. Then he just sat down and started working on it.
Cindy says it took Bob 30 years to pull together all he needed. And once he retired, he started working on the railroad.
He'd spend hours down here, but he loved it. I mean, he'd lose track of time down here. He had so many ideas and thoughts and drawings.
Bob's work wasn't done. Cindy says there are many more boxes of items that Bob wasn't able to add to the world he was building because, sadly, cancer derailed his plans.
He wanted to, when he retired, come down here and run and play trains. But then shortly after, his health first bout of cancer, and he didn't come down.
Doctors diagnosed Bob with prostate cancer, and it was persistent. 3 times it attacked, and Bob fought back as hard as he could.
He had a surgery 7 years ago, probably had it all cut out, we thought. Then it came back, and then he got the bladder cancer, and then once it hit his bloodstream, it went all over his body. And that was it.
Bob lost his battle just before the new year.
December the 30th, 7 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting there in a chair, and a lady come over, the nurse said, he's passed, he took his last breath. I said, what? See, when we went up there, I didn't think he was going to die. I thought he was just going to get well. He had a blockage, he had pneumonia. I thought he was going to pick some up, he's going to come home, but he had gotten so frail, so run down, he couldn't do it anymore.
His passing not only left Cindy brokenhearted, but his trains to collect dust. Now, his family wants someone else to continue Bob's legacy.
What he built, what he made, it took forever for him to make, so, you know, since I was a child, I'm 25 now, so it's quite a masterpiece, and, you know, I hope it all goes to a very good home.
Cindy is hoping the right person will come along to buy the train set, so Bob's dream will keep on chugging, full speed ahead, for many years to come.
Someone that loves trains, loves it as much as he did, and would enjoy it as much as he would. That's what I would really want. I would be sad when it's gone, but, you know, he's gone. And I'm sure he's up here looking down. So I hope someone else gets that joy.
Once the train set sells and the basement's cleared out, Cindy says she plans to turn the space into an apartment for one of her grandsons who's on the autism spectrum. If you'd like to know more about Bob's train set, you can find that information in this story on our website.